We'll now recognize the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Posey, for 5 minutes for your questions.
Thank you, Chairman Obaldotti. Secretary Granholm, what is the Department of Energy doing to lower the price of gasoline, electric, and natural gas for Americans?
Well, supply obviously has been a big component of that, and we are now at record levels of production of both natural gas and of oil. And hopefully, I mean, obviously oil is traded on a global market, and so what happens internationally with OPEC, et cetera, has an impact on us at home. However, our oil and gas companies have really stepped up to try to fill some of that gap, and that's important.
What is the agency doing to encourage any decrease in those prices?
Well, we don't have, obviously the prices are met on the private sector, on a market, so we don't have direct impact on that market.
Like killing drilling in Anwar?
No, that has nothing to do with the price today.
Oh, that's interesting. What is the administration's specific plan to increase electric vehicle sales from the current 7% level to the 36% level proposed by rule in 2027?
Are you talking about the EPA rule? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
The administration is, or at least the Department of Energy, is doing everything possible to bring down the price of electric vehicles by investing in research and development on battery technology. The price of vehicle batteries has already dropped by 85% over the past more than a decade, and a lot of that is due to DOE research. We're also making sure that the uptake of electric vehicles is easier for people who may have range anxiety because there's not a sufficient amount of charging network. And so we have partnered with the Department of Transportation with a joint office that is set up to put out funding to achieve 500,000 additional electric vehicle charging units across the nation, both in transportation corridors as well as in areas where the private sector has not seen fit to put up charging stations, perhaps because there's no electric vehicles. So we're trying to solve the chicken and egg issue on that, and we're trying to bring down the price. And of course, the Inflation Reduction Act, by reducing the price on the hood of vehicles, electric vehicles as they're purchased, will also make them more attractive.
Okay. What's the total amount of fiscal year 2023 grants to and sub-grants to support researchers that are citizens of other countries? I'm told we have some that have gone to Iranians, North Koreans, Russians, and China, and I'm just wondering if that's correct.
No, our funding is, and in fact, I signed an executive order saying the research, et cetera, and the funding for research has to be done, and the technologies in our labs has to be commercialized in the United States.
It is true, friends. Social Security monthly benefits are going to increase in just a few months, but new data shows that over half of older Americans worry that their retirement income will not be sufficient to cover their monthly expenses. Experts have laid out what they believe must change to help seniors and retirees. Dear friends, I'll be going over all of the details, so please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. This coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. According to Yahoo News, older Americans are still feeling the strain of high prices, which means a modest boost to their retirement income next year might not provide much relief. The SSA announced that the Social Security cost of living adjustment will be 3.2% in 2024. It is a much smaller figure than last year's 8.7% COLA. Thanks to moderating inflation, beneficiaries will see their monthly payments increase by more than $50 on average starting in January. The new COLA is well above the 2.6% average over the past 2 decades, But many older Americans are not convinced it's enough, with a new survey from the Senior Citizens League revealing that 56% of respondents worry that their retirement income will not cover the cost of essentials in the coming months. Mary Johnson, Social Security and Medicare policy analyst, told reporters, "The older consumer's dollar buys less than it did just a few years ago." Even though inflation is cooling, the majority of survey respondents reported their household expenses are still 10% higher than last year. The three biggest spending categories for retirees are housing, medical costs, and food. Housing costs have increased exponentially, with many Americans spending over 30% of their income on rent in some states. Although heating costs are projected to remain flat or even decrease this winter, healthcare costs were projected to grow by 5.6% in 2023 due to labor shortages and supply chain issues. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services also announced on October 12th that the standard Part B premium paid by most beneficiaries will increase $9 per month to $174 in 2024. Food at home prices were predicted to increase by 51% in 2023. Mary Johnson stated, "The Social Security benefits are modest, only replacing about 30% of one's earnings during working years." She also points to costs such as rent, healthcare, and home and auto insurance, which she says often go up, but rarely come back down. Earlier this year, federal emergency crisis assistance for SNAP benefits ended, putting millions of lower-income Americans at great risk, with each person receiving benefits getting about $90 a month less on average. This includes many older individuals who are now among the fastest-growing segment of America's homeless population. Meanwhile, increased COLAs have inflated incomes, which means some low-income retirees are contending with cuts to their safety net benefits. Some started paying taxes on a portion of their Social Security benefits for the first time, and analysts expect even more beneficiaries to face taxation next year, thanks to last year's hefty lift. Your benefits may be taxable based on what the SSA calls your combined income, which includes your adjusted gross income, non-taxable interest, and 50% of your Social Security benefits. The issue remains that the tax revenue is a major source of funding for Social Security benefits themselves, as well as Medicare trust funds. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to receive $840 billion in tax revenues from 2023 to 2032. Mary Johnson points out that Social Security is partially financed by a payroll tax, with workers paying taxes on 6.2% of their wages, up to $160,200 as of 2023. Earlier this year, Congressman John Larson proposed legislation that will modestly increase Social Security taxes paid by higher wage earners and raise the minimum thresholds at which Social Security is taxed to $35,000 for individuals and then $50,000 for couples. The bill would also change how COLA is determined. Representative Larson recommends using either the CPIW or the CPIE to calculate the COLA, depending on whichever measure is higher. Johnson's analysis also found that using the higher of the two benefits over the last 2 decades would have provided an extra $3,800 more to each retiree from 2014 through the end of 2024. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dearest friends, thank you very much for being part of this community. To show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners from the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dear friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you so much, friends, and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.